Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth, and for today's episode of Suki Nihon, we are looking at episode 7 of Season 3 of Steven Universe. After that hiatus, there's new episodes almost every single day for a while, so yeah, let's strap in. Let's see what terrifying new story arcs we're getting. Maybe some new villains, maybe some more stuff with, like, Jasper, or maybe some stuff with different fusions, or maybe some interesting, intricate, convoluted, maybe better storytelling stuff. And this is the episode Drop Beat Dad, Steven Universe, episode 307. Starts out where Steven is helping Sour Cream with set up his DJ set, and then Sour Cream and his dad are just arguing back and forth a bit. You know, his dad's all like, wah, 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 wah. And he's all like, you can't control my life. I'm voiced by Brian Posehn, and he has the same voice all the time. But you can't do that. And you're blah, blah, blah. Oh my god. So many of the male characters in the show are so badly written. But it's okay, it's okay. Anyways, Steven is helping Sour Cream set up his DJ set. After stopping by his dad's car wash, Sour Cream's actual dad, Marty, shows up in a bus to deliver a letter to Steven's dad, Greg. And then he runs into Sour Cream, who, you know, knows that that's his dad. Vidalia has probably had this talk already with him. It's complicated. So they talk a little bit, and Marty's like, well, you DJ. Cool, maybe I can set up some kind of event for you, and we can get about 9 years of father-son bonding into one night. Right? We can set up an event out on the beach instead of in that little warehouse, and we'll see where this goes. It turns out, even though he's saying the premise is father-son bonding, he's actually trying to promote a guacamole-flavored soda called Guacola. It sounds like glaucoma. Anyways, Guacola. Yeah, I do want to note something about guacamole, or rather avocados. When something is made with concentrate, that means it's made with frozen juice, and then water is added. In other words, it's pulped and then frozen. And then you add water to it later on as part of the juice. If it's 100% fruit juice in that concentrate, there is a very good chance that it does not have added sugar, which concentrate doesn't necessarily mean bad. It describes the process of something. Like how there's filtered and then there's filtered by reverse osmosis. A filter, when you filter water, it goes through one way. If you filter it by reverse osmosis, you're heating it up to convert it into steam and then letting it become water again through another filter. Got that? That's reverse osmosis versus a filter. There are different ways they can get out different impurities. They have different tastes. Nobody's allergic to concentrate. I know some people don't like the texture of pulp, but that's just how some people are. Concentrate isn't bad for you unless people add like high fructose corn syrup, which is a refined version of corn syrup, whereas corn syrup's actually okay. High fructose corn syrup goes through all sorts of little optimization, which may or may not be okay. It's harder for your body to digest it. But we're miracles of evolution. We have those particular ability to process that. And then there's sugar and such. Concentrate doesn't mean they added more sugar to it. It doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for you. Also, the Guaca-Cola thing actually sounds more like V8, and I'm like, I don't know. I kind of agree with Onion on this one, that I would drink it. Everyone's like, oh, this is horrible. You can't even put it on chips. I'm like, oh god, this is dumb. Because, hello, avocados are amazing. I will always stand up and defend avocados because they have vitamin B, vitamin K, vitamin C, vitamin E, potassium, all this other stuff. They are a good source of HDL, which is a good fat that lowers LDL. In other words, maybe Steven Universe and a lot of these other people in Steven's universe should be eating more avocados because those actually help you burn through certain types of fat. They help with heart conditions. They help with memory issues. They level you out. So everyone dissing the guacolo. I was just like, really? Okay. Yeah. Nope. This is just... I was not amused. Let me just say that. Because I actually like guacamole. But let's get back to this episode. Anyways, it turns out he's just using it to promote it. And then Sour Cream gets mad at Marty. Marty gets mad and Marty decides to leave. But before he leaves, he goes ahead and hands Greg a letter. Because he's legally obligated to do so. And then he leaves. And then Sour Cream's stepdad, Yellowtail or Yellowface, they're all named after onions. They're all named after types of onions. And onion products. Onion and onion accessories. Anyways, he brings him his old DJ equipment and they set up a little thing with that and he plays his little concert near the end of it and that's the end of the episode. Overall, I felt the resolution was dumb. The setup was dumb. The whole episode felt like it was just to get to a point where Marty hands Greg a check for $10 million. Whoa. There wasn't much up to it. There wasn't really an emotional denouement. It just felt kind of flat to me. I didn't really like the episode, and I've discovered something about Steven Universe. These are kind of good if you marathon them. If you watch them individually day by day or week by week, they feel a little bit weaker. It hurts the episodes. Like, let's say, for example, this is actually part of what we're calling a Steven bomb or whatnot. And there's going to be new episodes every single day this week. Had there not been new episodes, and this had been like, say, oh, here's this new episode of the show, and now you have to wait 2 or 3 weeks for another new episode, a lot of people would probably stop watching the show. Because this episode is very weak. I didn't particularly like it. And it's time to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I've met Brian Posehn, and he's an okay guy. I've met him and worked with him a little bit when I was working for a radio show, so I've spent a lot of time with him. And his voice is always the same. His character in this is pretty much, I could rave to that. And I just felt like it's just kind of flat. No offense, you have a very distinct voice, but you kind of do that voice a little bit too much. I would kind of like your character to have a little bit more emotional feel to it. A lot of Steven Universe is very loose. The animation's very loose, the acting is very loose, and so forth. Also, I would have liked a much longer bit of music in there, because I love his setup as a DJ. His stuff that he does, when he's got all his little Game Boy stuff and all that set up, the Game Boy Advance, all the little sound DJ and all that, I like that. I like that character. But I didn't feel this episode was that good. If I were giving it a letter grade, I'd probably give it like a C. Or maybe even a D. If more episodes of this show were like this episode, I wouldn't watch it. But what did you think of this episode? Did you like this episode? Did you find a way to particularly relate to this episode? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And just let me know. Give me your guacamole recipes. Give me your avocado recipes. Let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And until the next episode comes out, you are now caught up.